Hello mathematicians, hope in this video you can say I can identify the constant of proportionality of a table, graph, and equation. Let's look at a quick example here. At McDonald's, you receive 40 fries for every 10 McNuggets you order. The relationship between the amount of fries and McNuggets is shown in the table and graph below. What is the constant of proportionality for the relationship between fries and McNuggets? So in this relationship, we can see that the amount of fries you receive depends on the amount of McNuggets you order. So if you order a 10-piece McNuggets, you get 40 fries. If you order 2 orders of 10 McNuggets, also 20 McNuggets, you get 80 fries. So the amount of fries you order or that you receive depends on the amount of McNuggets that you order. So that would make fries be the Y and McNuggets be the X, Y being the dependent variable and McNuggets being the independent variable, or the X. So this is our X-axis and this is our Y-axis. So this is the amount of fries, as we can see, and this is the amount of McNuggets, as we can see. So we have worked with unit rate in the past, and constant and proportionality and unit rate are very similar. Now we're just kind of giving it a name. So now we're giving it the name constant of proportionality. And the constant of proportionality is often notated with a K. So the K represents our constant of proportionality. And just like with unit rate, we're going to take our Y value and divide it by our X value. So that gives us the formula. We can see K is equal to Y over X. So in this situation, what our constant of proportionality from this table is we take our Y value and we divide it by our X value. So we get our K is equal to 40 over, so our Y value here for our fries, over our X value for our McNuggets. So 40 over 10. So 40 from this first row and 10 from this first row, right? Which is equal to 4. 40 divided by 10 is equal to 4. And we're going to see that that K, our constant of proportionality, is the same no matter which row we use. If we take 80 and divide it by 20, we'd also get 4. If we take 120 and divide it by 30, we'd also get 4. If we took 160 and divide it by 40, we'd also get 4. If we took 200 and divided by 50, we'd also get 4. That is because the relationship between fries and McNuggets is proportional. So the relationship between your Y and X value, or that ratio, is going to be consistent. That is why it is our constant of proportionality. So that is how we would define it or find our constant of proportionality from this table. Well, as we know, our table and our graph are related. They represent the same thing. It's just different ways of representing them. But now if we were to try to find our constant of proportionality from this table, we could pick any one of these points where we can see it cross on our coordinate plane. So if we wanted to, we could come over here and we could pick this point right here. Pick this point right here. Well, it's got a Y value of 80, so our K would be equal to 80 over, and the X value at that point is 20. Well, as we talked about earlier, 80 over 20 is equal to 4. So our constant of proportionality from this graph is equal to 4. And it doesn't matter which point. If we pick this point right here of 120 and 30, so our 120 is our Y, so 120 over 30, that's going to give us 4. 160 over 40, that's going to give us 4. 200 over 50, that's going to give us 4. So the constant of proportionality of this relationship is 4. And as a general way of writing our proportional or writing equations that represent proportional relationships, our formula or way we write our equations is Y equals KX, which is derived from this, or vice versa, I guess, if you wanted to say that. So if we were to write an equation that represented this relationship, our equation would be equal to Y, which is the amount of fries, again, equals, well, our constant of proportionality is 4. So Y equals 4X, and X again being the amount of McNuggets. So if we were to plug 40 in for Y, we get 40 right here. So just as an example, we get 40 equals 4 times, well, the amount of McNuggets there would be 10, which is a true statement. 40 equals 4 times 10. Okay, so this is our equation that represents this table, that is represented by this table, rather, and this is the equation that is represented by this graph right here. So in closing, our constant of proportionality, if we're given an equation like this one right here, is going to be found by just finding our coefficient in front of x. So our constant proportionality is 4. And our constant proportionality from a table, well, again, is just taking our y value and dividing it by our x value. And to find our constant proportionality from a proportional graph is just find a point on that graph, determine what your y value is, and put that over the x value, and that will give you your constant of proportionality. So that's it for a video. Hope after watching this and getting in a little bit of practice, you can say, I can identify the constant of proportionality of a table, graph, and equation.